Have you ever felt lost in the storm of modern life? Detached from your inner peace, overwhelmed by responsibilities and anxieties? Do you feel like you're missing a compass to guide you through the turbulence and find serenity in the chaos? If so, this text is for you. The stress of modern life with its constant demands and uncertainties can leave us exhausted and disoriented. The search for meaning and purpose can become an arduous journey without a clear structure or defined path. But what if there was an ancient, proven philosophy that could provide that structure and path? Stoicism offers just that, a lens to see life with clarity and find light in the darkest moments. Unlike philosophies that get lost in abstractions, Stoicism, with its practical and action-focused approach, promises not only understanding, but also concrete tools to apply to your own journey. Imagine a world where you were able to deal with disappointments and frustrations without losing emotional control. Imagine that adversity, instead of breaking you down, strengthened you. Imagine the ability to maintain calm and serenity in the face of any challenge, drawing inner strength and persistence. Stoicism is precisely that, a shield against the winds of adversity, providing clarity and resilience to face everyday challenges. This text will show how this ancient philosophy can become your personal compass, guiding you to a fuller, more meaningful, and balanced life. Discover how Stoicism can help you control your mind, cultivate essential virtues, and find light in the darkest days. Throughout this text, we will unravel the basic principles of Stoicism, exploring its practical application in different areas of life, such as relationships, career, and well-being. Learn to identify the aspects of life over which you have control, and how to direct your energy to what is truly important. We will go beyond abstract concepts, providing practical tools to transform your perspective and your reactions to challenging situations. You will not only understand Stoicism, but also learn to apply it to everyday situations, extracting practical and transformative insights to create a more balanced and fulfilling lifestyle. The journey of self-knowledge that you will begin here has the potential to bring about a profound transformation in how you live and deal with the challenges of everyday life. This text aims to be an introspective journey, a practical guide for applying Stoicism to your real life. It's not just about reading about philosophy, but about diving into its essence, discovering how to apply it to your personal experiences. Imagine yourself more confident, resilient, and focused on achieving your goals. Imagine yourself capable of extracting learning and wisdom from every situation, no matter how challenging. This is the potential that Stoicism offers, and this text is your gateway to that transformation. Ready to discover how to find light in the darkest days? Modern life, full of challenges and uncertainties, can lead us to a constant state of stress and anxiety. New technologies, social media, and the pressure for instant results create a spiral of expectations and demands that make it difficult to find balance and inner peace. Often, we feel overwhelmed, unable to cope with the mountain of responsibilities and unforeseen events that arise daily. We realize that, despite advances and conveniences, the feeling of well-being is distancing itself, being replaced by the constant pressure to meet the demands of modern society. This relentless pursuit of perfection and control often distances us from the true essence of happiness. This scenario, unfortunately, is not new. Since the dawn of civilization, humanity has faced similar challenges, seeking ways to deal with uncertainties and find resilience in the midst of adversity. Stoic philosophy, born in ancient Greece, offers a valuable framework for understanding and dealing with the pressures of everyday life, providing a structure to face difficulties with serenity and resilience. In this context, Stoicism presents itself as a fundamental tool for navigating the complexities of modern life and finding light in the darkest days. The essence of Stoicism lies in the understanding that not everything is under our control. We often believe that our emotions and well-being depend on external factors, such as unforeseen events, the opinions of others, or circumstances beyond our reach. Stoicism helps us detach from what we cannot control, allowing us to direct our energy and attention to what is within our reach. Through the practice of self-awareness and acceptance, we can redirect our energy to cultivate virtue, wisdom, and reason as means to achieve inner happiness. To illustrate, imagine a professional with a tight deadline for an important project. As the deadline approaches and the pressures increase, he finds himself flooded with anxiety and worries. Although the outcome of the project depends on external factors, such as client approval, Stoicism would help him separate what is under his control, his effort, his dedication, and his attitude towards the challenge, from what is not. Focusing on his efforts ensures that he can maintain serenity, even in the face of pressures and unforeseen events. The key to dealing with this situation lies in recognizing that the final result does not depend only on him, but his reaction and attitude do. Fundamental to understanding Stoicism are the concepts of control and non-control. The first encompasses what we have influence over, our thoughts, actions, and reactions. The second, what we cannot change, external events, the actions of others, or circumstances beyond our reach. Understanding the distinction between these two domains is essential for the practice of Stoicism and for finding light in the darkest days. By focusing on what is under our control, we can cultivate the serenity and resilience necessary to overcome adversity, cultivating more stoic behavior in our lives. This philosophy allows us to build a mental framework capable of managing the reality of our times, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth, uncover the secrets of Stoicism, and find the light in the darkest days. Subscribe to the channel and join our community to continue learning. Share your experiences and insights in the comments. Your participation is essential to enrich this path together. Let's build a journey of continuous learning. Understanding Stoicism and applying it to our daily lives requires a shift in perspective, a different look at challenging situations. It's not about ignoring difficulties, but about understanding how to deal with them more effectively and resiliently. The central objective is to develop the ability to maintain serenity and clarity of thought, even in the face of adversity, recognizing that not everything is under our control. Let's imagine a person who is constantly worried about what others think of them. Their self-esteem is affected by the judgment of others, generating anxiety and insecurity. Applying Stoicism, this person can begin to question, what is under my control? Their own actions, their thoughts, and their reactions are aspects that can be managed. What is out of their control? The opinions of others. By focusing on their actions and their attitude towards the judgments of others, this person can reduce anxiety and strengthen their self-confidence. Another example, a professional who faces a failure in a crucial project. The frustration and feeling of helplessness can be intense. The Stoic approach in this case involves recognizing that failure is an experience, not a sentence. What is out of their control is the final result of the situation, but what is under their control is the reaction to that experience. This person can ask themselves, what lessons can I learn from this failure? What can I do to improve in the future? By focusing on learning and growth, they transform a negative situation into an opportunity for improvement. Frequently asked questions about Stoicism are important to deepen understanding. One of them is Stoicism about ignoring emotions? No. Stoicism does not seek the elimination of emotions, but rather the understanding of them and control over your reactions. The key is to understand that emotions are natural experiences, but we do not need to be controlled by them. Another common question, is Stoicism a solution to all problems? No. Stoicism is a tool that helps us better manage difficulties, but it does not solve all the problems in the world. To apply Stoicism in practice, we can start with daily self-observation exercises. Identify thoughts and reactions to challenging situations. Note how you feel and how you react to different events. This self-awareness will help us understand our patterns of behavior and identify the areas where we need to improve. Another strategy is to focus on actions that are under our control. Setting clear goals and directing our energy to the tasks we can influence is crucial to finding a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Regular meditation or breathing exercises can help us stay calm and focused in the face of daily pressures, strengthening our ability to cope with challenges. Finally, self-compassion is essential, recognizing that we are human beings, fallible and constantly learning. The crucial point, the turning point, arises when we are faced with a situation that challenges our ability to cope with the stress and uncertainty of modern life. Let's imagine a scenario. A highly successful professional, recognized for their achievements, suddenly finds themselves confronted with an unexpected personal crisis, such as the sudden loss of a loved one or a serious health problem. Suddenly, the seemingly perfect routine crumbles, and the emotional and financial security, which previously seemed unshakable, becomes fragile. In this moment of fragility, emotional reactions are intense. Sadness, anxiety, anger, and frustration can take over, clouding judgment and the ability to find solutions. Life, which previously flowed with some predictability, now presents itself as a whirlwind of uncertainties and fears. It is in this whirlwind that the understanding and application of Stoicism becomes even more crucial, offering a moral compass to navigate through the storm. The urgency to understand Stoic principles becomes evident when we realize that the answer to these events does not lie in external control, but in internal control. What is out of our control are the events that affect us, such as unforeseen illnesses or the actions of other people. What is under our control are our reactions, our thoughts, and our actions. The key is to redirect our energy to what we can influence, our thoughts and our attitudes. A fundamental aspect of Stoicism is the acceptance of the impermanence of life, recognizing that things change, that happy moments can be replaced by difficult moments, and that life itself is a continuous flow of transformation. This understanding in itself can significantly reduce anxiety and fear in adverse situations, as it allows us to detach from unrealistic expectations and focus our energy on dealing with the present. In this scenario, the ability to adjust and learn from mistakes, recognizing that suffering is a natural part of existence, becomes essential. Imagine the pain and anguish of someone who cannot accept the loss of a job or relationship. Stoicism does not minimize the pain, but it offers us tools to deal with it. While external circumstances remain outside of our control, the person can direct their efforts to focus on what can be influenced. This includes maintaining focus on personal values, the search for self-knowledge, and the cultivation of coping skills. The importance of patience and resilience is highlighted, understanding that recovery takes time and that each person has their own pace of healing and growth. Stoic practice does not seek the absence of suffering, but the ability to encounter it with wisdom, serenity, and resilience. This is the moment when the light of Stoicism can illuminate the path, even in the darkest moments. To find light in the darkest days, it is essential to understand the pillars of Stoicism. One of these pillars is the distinction between what is under our control and what is not. This does not mean ignoring problems, but rather directing our energy to the areas where we can influence the results. Let's imagine a situation in which an employee receives negative criticism from their boss. If the person clings to the idea that the criticism reflects their ability as a professional, they will enter a cycle of self-deprecation and frustration. However, the Stoic approach leads us to ask, what is under this person's control? Their effort, their attitude, their reaction to criticism. What is out of their control? The boss's opinion, the external situation that generated the criticism. By focusing on what can be influenced, the person can seek to understand where they went wrong, learn from the feedback, and take steps to improve. Another key concept is the acceptance of impermanence. Life is a constant flow of changes and transformations. Accepting this impermanence does not mean resigning oneself to adversity, but rather recognizing that moments of joy and sadness are an integral part of the human experience. When we face losses, challenges, or changes, the ability to accept what we cannot control allows us to deal with situations more serenely. Consider an example. A person loses a job unexpectedly. The immediate reaction can be one of despair and frustration. However, if this person understands that the job is part of a journey, not a definition of their life, accepting the situation will help them focus on finding a new professional path. This adaptation process, despite being painful, becomes an impetus for growth and discovery. The practice of virtue, according to Stoicism, is fundamental to the pursuit of happiness. Stoic virtues such as justice, courage, temperance, and prudence guide us to act with integrity and wisdom. For example, the virtue of justice leads us to act with fairness and respect for others, even when circumstances are adverse. Another fundamental element is the pursuit of reason and the practice of self-discipline. Reason helps us evaluate situations objectively, avoiding biased judgments. Self-discipline allows us to control our impulses and reactions, leading us to act with more serenity and consistency. Discipline in planning goals and managing time, even amidst pressures, makes a person more resilient and focused. Understanding the difference between what depends on us and what does not is one of the central points of Stoicism. What is under our control are our thoughts, our actions, and our reactions. What is outside our control are external circumstances, the opinions of others, and unexpected events. Recognizing this distinction is crucial to developing serenity and resilience in challenging situations. Understanding the principles of Stoicism requires time and practice. But by incorporating these concepts into our lives, we can gradually develop a more serene, resilient, and effective perspective in dealing with adversity. The tools and structure that Stoicism provides can help us find light even in the darkest days, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and learning. By applying Stoic principles in our daily lives, we can face challenges with more serenity and resilience. Imagine a person who is constantly worrying about the future. In this case, a Stoic strategy would be the practice of focusing on the present. By directing attention to daily tasks, avoiding anticipating problems or worrying excessively about the future, this person can reduce anxiety and deal with issues as they arise. A practical example would be creating a journal to record thoughts and feelings. By documenting reactions to challenging situations, a person can identify patterns of behavior and learn to deal with them more effectively. Analyzing how they reacted to similar situations in the past can offer valuable insights into how to act differently in the future. Facing social pressure is another common challenge. Stoicism encourages us to evaluate what is under our control and what is not. The opinions of others should not influence our decisions and actions. It is important to remember that our identity is not linked to external approval, but to the values and principles we cultivate in our inner lives. To deal with this challenge, we can practice self-awareness. Observe which situations lead you to worry about what others think. Develop an understanding of how these worries affect your well-being and try to identify triggers. In this way, you can develop a more balanced and assertive reaction. A common obstacle on the Stoic path is the difficulty in accepting what we cannot control. Understanding that many situations are beyond our reach is essential to avoid unnecessary frustration and anguish. For this, we can practice meditation, focusing on accepting things as they are. Understanding that suffering is part of life and that it is inevitable helps us prepare to deal with it more calmly. Another challenge can be maintaining discipline over time. Stoicism is a journey, not a destination. It requires constant practice and patience. To stay focused, setting realistic goals and rewards can be a good strategy. Celebrating small advances and recognizing your efforts reinforces the importance of perseverance. A common obstacle for people with a Stoic mindset is the tendency to isolate themselves, avoiding responsibilities. Stoicism, however, advocates engagement in society and interpersonal relationships. The key is to deal with challenges productively without losing perspective and serenity. In summary, Stoic principles applied to real life offer us tools to face challenges, deal with frustrations, and maintain emotional balance. Recognizing our limits, focusing on what is under our control, cultivating virtue and reason are crucial steps towards a more meaningful and serene life. Continuous learning and constant adaptation are essential to incorporate these principles into our routine. Advancing on the Stoic journey, we find more sophisticated strategies to deal with complex challenges. One of them is the practice of premeditatio malorum, that is, the anticipation of difficulties. By imagining possible problems and obstacles, we can mentally prepare to face them with more serenity. Imagine a businessman who, when planning a new business, anticipates crisis scenarios and analyzes strategies to deal with potential financial losses. This anticipation, far from being a source of panic, becomes a fundamental mental preparation. Another strategy is the application of the concept of amor fati, that is, loving fate. This does not mean passively accepting adversity, but rather learning to find meaning and learning in every experience, no matter how painful. An example could be an artist who, when facing rejection of their work at an exhibition, sees this criticism as an opportunity to improve their technique and seek new forms of expression. Stoic philosophy also invites us to practice apathy, but not in the sense of absence of emotions, but rather detachment from external results. It means not allowing emotions like excessive joy or sadness to control our actions. A professional who manages to remain calm and focused on their work, even in the face of pressure and uncertainty, demonstrates the application of this strategy. Consider a concrete case: a scientist who dedicates years to research but is confronted with negative results. Instead of being defeated by disappointment, they use these results as valuable data to redefine their hypotheses and improve their techniques, finding a new path to success. The observation of individuals who have adopted Stoicism as a lifestyle demonstrates the validity of its principles. Stories of people who have faced serious illnesses, significant financial losses, or painful separations, and who, even in the midst of adversity, have maintained serenity and resilience, show the transformative potential of Stoicism. These stories are living testimonies of the human capacity to find light in the darkest moments. Another notable example is the Stoic approach of historical figures, such as the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. His reflections, recorded in his writings, demonstrate his ability to remain centered amidst the complexities of power and politics. The ability to face adversity with serenity, observing and analyzing their emotions, reflects the practical application of Stoicism. Understanding and applying Stoicism is a continuous journey. It requires self-awareness, discipline, and a constant detachment from what is not under our control. Finding the light in the darkest days is not an easy task, but it is possible. Stoic philosophy, like a beacon, guides us through the storms of life, providing a more serene and meaningful way to live. To strengthen the credibility of the Stoic approach, it is essential to present data and research that prove its effectiveness in practice. Several studies have demonstrated the correlation between the application of Stoic principles and an increase in emotional resilience and a decrease in stress levels. A study published in the scientific journal Journal of Positive Psychology, for example, analyzed the influence of Stoicism on people's ability to cope with adverse events, demonstrating a significant correlation between engagement with philosophy and a more adaptive emotional response. Another relevant piece of data points to the ability of Stoicism to improve decision-making. Research shows that individuals trained in Stoic principles tend to present a more rational decision-making process and less influenced by negative emotions such as anxiety and fear. This is due to the ability to focus on what is under their control, leading to more objective and realistic strategies. In addition to academic research, we find evidence of the positive impact of Stoicism in various areas of everyday life. High-performing professionals, business leaders, and elite athletes have demonstrated a growing adoption of Stoic principles as a tool for dealing with pressure, adversity, and challenges, and the ability to maintain focus, discipline, and resilience in the face of challenges are often cited as benefits of Stoic practice. A practical example may be the analysis of leaders who have gone through critical moments in their careers and who, using Stoic philosophy, have managed to overcome difficulties and reach new heights. The ability to remain calm in the face of adversity, focusing on rational strategies, and the analysis of concrete facts demonstrates the practical application of Stoic principles. The influence of Stoicism on conflict management is also notable. A study by Harvard University, for example, showed that the application of Stoic principles in interpersonal conflict situations can result in a decrease in hostility and an increase in effective communication. This ability to maintain emotional control and focus on rational solutions is crucial in any work environment, personal relationships, or community. Another point to consider is the practical application of Stoic concepts in the field of mental health. Stoic philosophy encourages acceptance of things as they are, promoting a more realistic attitude towards challenges. This can contribute to the reduction of anxiety and depression by fostering a deeper understanding of one's own thoughts and emotions, contributing to psychological well-being. The adoption of Stoicism in everyday life can bring significant benefits. It is not about eliminating emotions, but about managing them more consciously and productively. These findings and examples reinforce the importance of applying Stoic philosophy, showing its relevance in dealing with the difficulties and challenges inherent in contemporary life. This understanding, in turn, promotes a more balanced, resilient, and effective life. We have reached a crucial point where theory meets practice, and the understanding of Stoicism becomes truly useful in our daily lives. The big question that often arises is, how can I apply these concepts practically and lastingly? Imagine a professional who constantly feels overwhelmed. Stoicism does not propose the elimination of stress, but rather the ability to control it. A simple practice is the internal dialogue technique. Identify the negative thoughts that arise and question their validity. Are they based on facts or distorted perceptions? This ability for self-analysis, crucial in Stoicism, helps to redirect attention to what we can control. Many people feel frustrated by not being able to control external situations. Here lies a fundamental point, the focus on internal control. We can influence our reactions and our actions. We cannot change the behavior of others, but we can change our response to it. Stoic practice is about the ability to respond consciously to circumstances, not about controlling them directly. Another point that often generates doubts is about practical application in complex situations. Imagine a relationship in crisis. Applying Stoicism, the person does not focus on controlling the other, but on responsibility for their own emotions and behaviors. This includes assertive communication and mutual respect, fundamental elements for a constructive resolution, even in challenging situations. Some people think that Stoicism is something distant, incomprehensible, but the truth is that this set of principles can be applied to any area of our lives. From dealing with traffic to managing personal relationships, Stoic principles offer a practical map. Studies show that by incorporating Stoic strategies, people report significant improvements in mental well-being and productivity, positively impacting their daily lives. A common question is whether this philosophy is really practical and useful for our current times. An example of modern application is how companies are implementing mindfulness practices, something directly inspired by Stoic philosophy. Studies prove that companies that promote this type of practice have higher productivity rates. In summary, Stoicism is more than a philosophy. It is a practical method for dealing with difficulties and building a more fulfilling life. Despite its ancient roots, its principles adapt perfectly to our hectic present. If you are looking for ways to find light in the darkest days, Stoicism can be a valuable tool, a practical guide for building a more resilient and balanced life. With dedication and practice, the results can be extraordinary. Throughout this journey, we have explored the foundations of Stoicism and its practical application to find light in the darkest days. We have seen that the key does not lie in controlling the uncontrollable, but in mastering what is within our reach, our thoughts, our actions, and our reactions. Ultimately, Stoicism teaches us to cultivate emotional resilience, to find serenity in the midst of adversity, and to build a more fulfilling and meaningful life. One of the main points is the understanding of the distinction between what is under our control and what is not. This mental clarity allows us to direct our energy to what we can influence, avoiding emotional wear and tear with unnecessary worries. Instead of agonizing over what is beyond our ability to change, we focus on the actions we can take to move closer to our goals and values. Another fundamental point is the acceptance of impermanence. Life is a constant flow of changes. By accepting this reality, we free ourselves from the expectation of absolute control and the anxieties that arise from the search for an illusory stability. This acceptance allows us to navigate challenges and changes with more serenity and flexibility. The importance of virtue, wisdom, and reason was also highlighted. These qualities guide us toward more ethical and objective behavior, minimizing impulsive reactions and focusing on thoughtful decisions. Stoicism, therefore, offers not just a set of tools, but a guide for building a stronger and more resilient character. Finding light in the darkest days, therefore, is not about the absence of problems, but about the ability to deal with them more effectively. Stoicism equips us with the necessary tools to transform difficulties into opportunities for growth. It's not about running away from problems, but about facing them with serenity, wisdom, and focus. Now, how do we put these insights into practice? Start with small steps. Identify the areas of your life where you feel the most difficulty and apply Stoic principles. Keep a journal to record your thoughts and reactions to challenging situations. Practice self-observation and identify patterns in your behaviors and emotions. Observe how your worries impact your well-being and look for more effective ways to deal with them. Seek support in groups or communities that are also interested in learning about Stoicism. Stoicism is a journey, not a destination. Dedicate time to this practice, explore more about the philosophy and observe the results. You will feel more confident, resilient, and capable of dealing with life's adversities with serenity and wisdom. By applying Stoic principles in your daily life, you will find light amidst the darkest days and build a more fulfilling and rewarding life. Be prepared for the journey and start today. Reflecting on the journey we've taken, we can contemplate the beauty and depth of Stoic philosophy. It is not a set of rigid rules, but an invitation to introspection, self-awareness, and the construction of a more meaningful and resilient life. Stoicism reminds us that true strength lies not in the absence of problems, but in the ability to deal with them with serenity and wisdom. Throughout our exploration, we've learned to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. This fundamental understanding frees us from the anguish of worrying about the uncontrollable, allowing us to focus on the actions that can truly generate change. This internal focus, so essential in Stoicism, transforms us into architects of our own happiness, building it brick by brick, thought by thought. The acceptance of the impermanence of life, a fundamental Stoic principle, helps us navigate the inevitable moments of change, sadness, and suffering. Accepting that things change is an act of resilience, not passivity. It's like learning to dance with the flow of life, rather than fighting against it. Stoicism is not an antidote to pain, but a guide to finding meaning and purpose in the midst of it. It encourages us to look within ourselves, to question our thoughts, and to adjust our behaviors for a more authentic and balanced life. By adopting this perspective, we learn to find meaning in every experience, no matter how challenging it may be. And how can we continue this journey of self-discovery and growth? The key is application. Start incorporating Stoic principles into small parts of your daily life. Observe how you react to different situations, identify your patterns, and seek more balanced alternatives. Read more about the Stoic philosophers, delve into their writings, and explore different perspectives on the philosophy. Participate in discussion groups, share your experiences, and learn from the experiences of others. Stoicism is a tool, a compass to guide our lives through the storms. It is not a final destination, but a continuous journey of learning, growth, and self-knowledge. By connecting with this rich legacy, we can shape our own perspective, build an internal fortress, and find light in the darkest days. Be open to transformation and move forward, carrying with you the wisdom of the Stoics to build a more fulfilling and resilient life. The path to the light is within you, and Stoicism is the map to get there.